The process of dreaming is now understood to have three major postulates. One, dreams are internally generated rather than coming from an outside source, such as a divine all-knowing force or another world. Number two, dreams are generated from random firing of neurons, but these random firings are drawn from the dreamer's waking experiences, concerns, interests, and emotions. And three, the spreading activation from these random firings is what we call hyperassociative, meaning that it is capable of drawing more distant associations than those drawn in waking life. Let's give credit where credit is due here. Freud was the first psychologist to popularize the idea that dreams reflect the dreamer's waking life. However, the consensus is not that there is a need for the meaning to be hidden or otherwise camouflaged with symbolism. If you dream about a test, you are likely concerned about an upcoming evaluation in your waking life. If you dream about hiking, you are likely interested in hiking in your waking life, and so on. The raw material of a dream is randomly drawn from the dreamer's neural networks. The brain holds networks of our memories, experiences, concerns, interests, and emotions in our waking life. In addition to this, it holds networks of stored information regarding how we perceive ourselves and others, our dominant modes of perceiving, thinking, reacting, and our worldviews. As a result, dreams are unique to the individual. If they could be studied as directly and precisely as fingerprints, they could have the same identifying power. Not only do dreams draw from our unique neural networks, our brains weave these elements together according to our unique and typical ways of organizing our perceptions, knowledge, and emotional overlay. In other words, if they could be studied as directly as physical forensic evidence, yours could be identified from your distinct MO. Thus, research has found great consistency in the nature of dreams within dreamers throughout their lifetimes, but little consistency between dreamers. Our waking thoughts are largely guided by associations and spreading activation. In fact, dreaming has been found to be hyperassociative, meaning the spreading activation spreads even further than during wakefulness. One way this is tested is with word association tests. Brain scans have shown a short lag time before the brain reorganizes after one is awakened from REM or non-REM sleep. This has enabled studies like Stickgold's. Stickgold and his colleagues in 1999 awakened participants after REM and non-REM sleep, having them immediately engage in word association tests. They found that participants produced significantly more distant and less common associations after REM sleep than they did after non-REM or wake time. In other words, when we dream, spreading activation tends to spread even further to more remote links. This is one factor that contributes to the distorted and bizarre nature and creativity often found in dreams. The empirical evidence that dreams reflect our concerns, experiences, hopes, fears, etc. of our waking lives includes influences of things like emotions, divorce, culture, pregnancy, psychological trauma, etc. In our next segment, we'll look at these influences more closely.